What's up mga kuya? Welcome back to the channel, and today I have with me are these Poco M3s. And sa mga nagtatanong, no, hindi po dalawang unit binili ko. Yung isa po sa friend ko, pinasabay niya lang po sa akin. So ayun. And maganda ngayon, dalawang color variant ang makikita nyo mga kuya. So the one that I bought is the Power Black and the other one is Cool Blue. And this is actually available also in a Poco Yellow. So what I have are the 4GB 128GB variants of the Poco M3. There's also a 4GB 64GB variant, and actually the main difference is the 64GB variant has UFS 2.1 storage while the 128GB variant has UFS 2.2. And sobrang minor mga kuya ng performance difference between UFS 2.1 and UFS 2.2. So kung yung budget nyo is only for the 64GB variant, which I feel like that's what a lot of people are going to buy, you're not missing out on anything really. Of course, besides that, it's double the storage. So again mga kuya, the one that I bought is the Power Black color option, 4GB of memory and 128GB of storage. Of course, what you get in the box is the phone itself, charging adapter, USB Type-C cable, SIM ejector tool, soft clear TPU case, a user guide, and the warranty card. So I'm assuming you have the SIM ejector tool here, yeah, and the soft clear TPU case, and the user guide and the warranty card. And yeah, this is how the soft clear TPU case looks. And next up we have the phone itself. So let's set this aside for now and let's see what else is in the box. Course, we have the, and here we have the specifications for the power brick with a max output of 22.5 watts. And of course, here we have the USB Type-C to Type-A charging cable. So yeah, this is pretty much what you get inside the box of the Poco M3. So pretty much the main specs that you need to know is the 48 megapixel AI triple camera, 6000 mAh battery with 18 watts of fast charging, 6.53-inch full HD display. I believe this is an IPS display, and we have the Qualcomm Snapdragon 662, which is an octa-core chipset. And yeah, this is how the Power Black option looks. And this is how the Cool Blue color option looks mga kuya. And it looks like we actually do have a plastic screen protector, so I don't like this shit. We're going to remove that. So in terms of design, on the right side, we have the power button slash side-mounted fingerprint scanner and the volume rockers. On the left side, we have the SIM card tray. At the top, we have the 3.5mm headphone jack, very nice. Secondary microphone, IR blaster, and I believe these are the speaker holes, since these do have dual stereo speakers mga kuya. Not front-facing, but I'll take it. And at the bottom, we have the USB Type-C port, main microphone, and the other speaker slot. And of course, at the back, we have the plastic faux leather-like finish mga kuya. And I actually like this. I feel like this won't scratch as easily compared to something like my Xiaomi Redmi Note 9, which has a plastic glossy back. Over here we have the Poco branding, and I believe this part is plastic mga kuya, but of course the one that's covering the triple camera setup has glass on it. So you have super triple camera written here along with the single LED flash. And of course, at the front, we have the 6.53-inch LCD display. At the top, we have a teardrop notch for the front-facing camera and the top speaker grill. And I believe also located at the top is the IR proximity sensor. And in terms of pricing, mga kuya, I was actually able to get the early bird price. So I only paid $6,990 for this. This is now $7,990 if I'm not mistaken. And that's the only reason why I bought the 128GB variant, is because it's only $6,990. So again, if your budget is only for the 64GB variant, which is right now $6,990, then you're perfectly fine mga kuya. So yeah, let's go ahead and boot this. And in terms of the feedback of the power button and volume rockers, they're actually nice and clicky for the most part. So yeah, this is how the phone looks booted up mga kuya. And again, this has a teardrop notch. So I'll set this up, use it for a bit, and come back to you guys in a bit.
1 hour later.
At nagbabalik na nga po tayo mga kuya. So I've been using the Poco M3 for quite a bit. And yeah, kahit na hindi pa to yung review nito mga kuya, I can safely say that you're getting more than what you paid for, even if it's the regular price and not the early bird price. And just to show you guys what it looks like with the soft clear TPU case. And design-wise, again mga kuya, I really like what Xiaomi has done with the back. So this is again a plastic back, but it's made to look like faux leather, which I really like again, since I feel like this won't scratch easily. But of course, we'll find out in my full review of this, since I'll be using this without the case. So I feel like this part will scratch easily. So yeah, so I've set up my right thumb for the side mounted fingerprint scanner. Of course, if you're left-handed, then you can go ahead and register your left index finger. While it's not the fastest, yeah, it gets the job done and is fairly accurate for the most part. And for the most part, just browsing through the UI, opening, closing apps, it's been snappy for the most part. I feel like this is the first time that Xiaomi is using UFS storage in their budget device. Another thing about that, correct me if I'm wrong on this, but I believe Poco is now an independent company from Xiaomi, just like with the OnePlus was with Oppo. Again, just something I found out recently. And actually, our only game test for today, mga kuya, is going to be Genshin Impact, since I feel like if your phone can run Genshin Impact even on the lowest settings, then it can pretty much run any other graphically intensive games in the Play Store right now. So yeah, we are running Genshin Impact, mga kuya. Granted, this is the lowest graphical settings in the game. I actually did leave anti-aliasing on, so yeah. And yeah, while it's not the smoothest experience of Genshin Impact on mobile, it's pretty playable for the most part. Yeah, there are some occasional hiccups or stutters here and there. So considering this is just my unboxing and first impressions of the Poco M3, I'll be showing more gameplay footage and performance tests in my full review of this, mga kuya. And one thing that I actually don't like so far about the Poco M3 is that, and even though I'm grateful for Poco that they actually put dual stereo speakers here, the sound is not balanced. I mean, considering that this speaker slot is bigger than the one at the top, I was expecting that, but yeah, it just sounds weird if it's louder on the right side and it's significantly weaker on the left side. And while the main speaker is really impressive for the most part, it's loud and clear, especially if you're going to use this in landscape mode, it's going to feel weird considering that the right side is significantly louder compared to the left side. But still, considering that these are dual stereo speakers on a budget phone, mga kuya, I can't really complain. And of course, as always, regarding camera quality, I'll be giving you guys my opinion and thoughts on the camera quality on this on my full review. But for now, here are some quick test shots. So again, this has a 48 megapixel main sensor, 2 megapixel macro sensor, and 2 megapixel depth sensor. And at the front, for the front-facing camera, we have an 8 megapixel sensor. And the 1080p display on here, mga kuya, is actually quite good. Colors are not oversaturated, they're relatively neutral for the most part, and it gets decently bright even under direct sunlight. Just like with pretty much any other budget smartphone from Xiaomi nowadays, build quality is actually solid, like really solid, mga kuya. I feel like a huge contributor to that is that huge 6,000 mAh battery that's in here. So by far, this is the biggest battery capacity that I've had on a smartphone, which is 6,000 milliamps. And combine that with 18 watt fast charging, I would assume that this would charge from 0 to 100 in about 3 hours. So I'll update you guys, of course, on that on my full review. And regarding battery life, mga kuya, for most people, this should be easily a 2-day battery life. Maybe except if you're a hardcore mobile gamer, someone who games like 12 hours a day, then yeah, you'll be able to kill this in a day, definitely. And regarding design, again, I actually like it. It's not the most unique thing in the world, but for the most part, yeah, I'm really digging the design of the Poco M3. And this is actually my first time owning a smartphone with a side-mounted fingerprint scanner. And yeah, I guess that's going to do it for my unboxing and first impressions of the Poco M3. Of course, I'll update you guys on my full review of this. And just based on my first impressions, mga kuya, I can actually easily recommend this right now, especially for the price. I mean, just with that 6,000 mAh battery and 18 watts of fast charging, panalo ka na mga kuya. But of course, it's better to pull the trigger once I actually do my full review of this, which will be probably in a week or two. I'll leave the link in the description if you guys want to buy this right now. Leave your questions in the comments if you have any. Leave a like if you did, dislike if you feel like you have to. Consider subscribing, and of course, turn on notifications mga kuya, since a lot of the people that subscribing to the channel aren't getting updates on my latest videos. As always, use my Lazada, Shopee, or Banggood affiliate link if you're buying anything from them. It helps me out a lot. Like my Facebook page for gaming live streams, other updates, and posts that I don't post on YouTube. As always, stay safe mga kuya. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace!